Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm going to share with you how I make my brie that I bake in puff pastry. These are the ingredients that we're going to be using. You can use any type of brie that you like, but we're going to be using an 8-ounce pack of brie. Now with the puff pastry, this is the one that I like to use, and typically with the puff pastry, I find it in the grocery store where they have the frozen pies, and the frozen pie shells is where you're typically going to find it. Now it's going to come frozen, and you're going to want to defrost it a bit. I usually put mine on the countertop. You can also defrost it in your refrigerator. It's going to still be cold, and you want it to be cold because you want to work with it cold, but you don't want to have it frozen. Now when you open it up, it's going to have 3 panels, and this is called one sheet. And in the box, you're going to have 2 of these panels that are going to come. So I've already used one for something else, and in the description box below, my other recipes that I use puff pastry, like my ham and cheese appetizer and my empanadas puff pastry, I'll put a link in the description box to share those recipes with you as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be rolling out our sheets. Now with this, you want to put down a little bit of flour. And so I went on and put down a little bit of flour because you want to make sure that it's not going to stick to any surface you're using. I'm using my silicone mat, but any clean surface really will do, or a cutting board will also work. We're going to roll this out to just about an extra inch bigger. So this is going to be about an extra 1 to 2 inches, so about 12 inches total around the sides. And as you're rolling it out, be sure to turn it so that way you make sure that your bottom is not sticking at all. And then we're going to dust off any excess flour, but you do want to make sure that you put flour on underneath as well as flour on your rolling pin. Now once I have it all nice and rolled out, I go ahead and I'm going to be using my 9-inch cake pan, or you can also use a 9-inch pie pan, but you want it to be 9 inches because we're going to be folding over and pleating the pastry over our brie. And so to have that room that you need, you want to be using a 9-inch pan. I use my paring knife and I just go around just like that to go ahead and cut out the circle that we need. Now this excess, we don't throw that out. The excess, what I do is we're going to take this and put it also back in the package, and I'll be able to fold this out and also roll this out, and I could use it for other things. And so I'm going to put that in the refrigerator, and so we'll be able to use that again. And so I have my perfectly round circle, and so with our perfectly round circle, we're going to use our egg wash. Now our egg wash is 1 large egg that I've beaten, and I put in a teaspoon of water. Then I take my pastry brush and I go around the sides just like that, just about an inch, inch and a half, no more than 2 inches, because our brie wheel is going to be sitting in the middle, and so you want to go all around the edge like that. Now this is the brie that I'm using. You can use whatever brand that you like. It doesn't matter really, it just kind of depends on your personal preference. And so it's going to come with, if you haven't made this before or haven't used brie or bought brie before, it's also going to come with this clear, or sometimes it's white like this one, packaging. You want to go ahead and take that off, and then you're going to have the white rind. I leave my rind on because this is going to help our cheese to stay intact also as it bakes, in addition to having the pastry that's going to be surrounded. And so then what you do is you want to fold up and pleat. And so I just fold up the sides, tucking really good, and then make sure that there's no air pockets on the side. You don't want to have any space between your pastry and your brie wheel. So make sure that you pull it up nice and firm and pull it over, and I just kind of tap it down to make sure that I'm having that nice seal, and go all the way around just like that. Now in the description box below, I will have a list of all the ingredients you need to make this recipe. Now once I have my brie securely wrapped, I'm going to go ahead and transfer it into my baking sheet. Now with your baking sheet, you want to use parchment paper. The parchment paper is going to make sure that your wheel does not stick at all, but also in addition to that, baking on the parchment paper is always best when using a puff pastry. And if you don't have parchment paper on hand, if you have a baking mat, you can use a baking mat. Then I take the egg that we have, our egg wash, and you want to go all around the sides. Our egg wash is going to give us that beautiful golden finish all around the wheel. It's also going to help to seal those pleats that we just made on our brie, and so you're going to have that beautiful golden finish go around the sides as well as around the top, but you don't want to do the center where it's exposed. You don't want to do that part, just around the sides. Now I'm going to do two important steps before baking. The first step I'm going to do before we bake it is I'm going to raise the inside edges of our pleats, and so go ahead and just stand them up. They'll be able to stick to one another because of that egg wash, and so you want to go ahead and stand up the pleats and just kind of pinch them a little bit. Then we're going to take this, and you see how I did that? I just went on and stood them up from the inside circle. I just pulled them straight up, and so that way the pleats are all together, but they're just sticking up and making like a well in the center. Now what we want to do is, if anything that when we went and we pulled up our pleats, if you have any of the puff pastry that needs a little bit more egg wash, you can go ahead and do that then. Now we're going to take this. This is how it looks. I'm going to put this in my freezer. Okay, just like this. We're going to put it in our freezer for 20 minutes and let it sit in our freezer. This is going to allow everything to get nice and hard again, especially that puff pastry. So now it's been sitting in my freezer for 20 minutes. This is what it looks like after being frozen. While it was freezing, I went on and I put my oven on 425, and our brie is going to bake at 425 for 20 to 25 minutes. So our brie is out of the oven, and look at it, y'all. It has baked up so nicely. The puff pastry has become a beautiful, beautiful golden brown color. And in our inside well that we created with our Brie Wheel and the pastry, we're going to go ahead and fill it. I'm going to fill mine with some peach preserves. We're going to be using anywhere from about 1/4 of a cup up to about 1/3 of a cup. And then we'll also have some that we can serve on the side. I'm doing peach preserves. You can do a nice fig spread. You can do a strawberry preserve. You can do mango. You can do a pepper jelly. Whatever you fill in the inside, I'll leave that up to you because that's going to be whatever your choice is. This is what I'm doing today. And so this is going to be great. I'm going to be sharing this with some friends. We're getting together for a holiday brunch. Well, that is it for me today. If you like this video, be sure to show it some love. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click share. Share this video with a friend or family. And if you're not subscribed, I invite you to hit that subscribe button. Become one of my awesome subscribers. This is the wonderful brunch that I had with my friends. We had a wonderful time. And be sure to click that notification bell so you can come back and visit me again in my kitchen. And remember, it's always good when Dyvonne is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.